and welcome to another Groundhog Day with Mother May I podcast with Frank Conniff and Irene Bremis. Frank, you look absolutely stunning with your new haircut. You know, you look gorgeous.
Well, thank you. I went to my local COVID-19 barbershop, and which is open. And but you told me you like my long hair, though.
I do. I was going to say something about the long hair, but you know what it is, Frank? I just love you. Okay, you could be bald, you can have pink hair. The truth of the matter is, I'm an '80s headbanging chick, so I prefer long hair. You know, love the long. But you look very handsome, Frank. It's almost like you took a "let's get it together" pill overnight. You've got a microphone, you have a hair, you're sitting propped. What's going on here? What happened? What antidepressant are you on, Frank? I want to know.
I'm on a. I don't think there's an antidepressant powerful enough for what we're going through right now. But I got a microphone because, as you know, Traceable, you and I are doing live streaming movie riffing shows now, and they told me to get a better microphone, so I did. And I'm sitting. I used to sit on my couch that you know very well because I was always there when you visited me when I was sick.
Very comfortable.
And but now I'm in I'm at my desk, and I think it's I saw someone interviewed me for Zoom, and I saw it, and I looked like I was just asleep the whole time, even though I was doing.
Okay. Well, whatever it is, the Adderall you are on is working like a charm. Now look at you. You look so handsome. I love you. And,
God bless you.
Those shows are doing really great, by the way. Those shows that you did.
The Trace. Well, we've done one so far, and it was a big success, and we're going to do another one on August 18th at 8 p.m.
Let me ask you, Frank. So, do you think that you're doing better by streaming these shows because so many more people can be involved?
Well, there is that element to it, and more people do get to see us. But I'm always going to miss a live audience, and the minute it's okay to go back to doing live shows, I really want to go back to doing live shows, and we'll probably keep doing the streaming shows. But I can't wait to start performing live again, which will probably be about a year from now at the soonest.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. I can't believe that performing for my aunts and my uncles in my living room is making a comeback. I hate to brag. I did an actual Zoom show. So I was headlining a Zoom show. I'm sorry.
Oh, all right.
So anyway, Frank, I love you so very much.
Love you.
I am so glad we're doing this together. You know why I love this fucking show so much? Because I, A, get to hang out with you, and B, we get to hang out with other people that we love, and we don't ever have to leave our homes, you know? So it's
That's
amazing.
Right.
All right, so this next guy coming on is just amazing. I love him. Frank, you know him. He's a comedian. Mm-hmm. He's an actor. He's a singer. He's multi-talented. And we actually co-hosted my last show together on the Scuttlebutt. And now he plays Mr. Duvall on Mean Girls. He's Mr. Duvall in Mean Girls on Broadway. Let's give it up. He's really incredible. Let's give it up for the amazing Mr. Rick Younger, everybody.
Yay.
Rick, yay. We're still going to give it that live element. Why not? And Mr. Rick.
Hey,
hi.
How you doing?
All right.
Oh my God, Rick, it's so good to see your beautiful face. Oh my God, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm glad you think my face is beautiful.
It is beautiful, sweetie. It's beautiful. How are you doing now? I've been thinking about you because you know, when are you doing any live streaming for Broadway? I'm sorry if this sounds stupid. I know that
I live stream for myself. I'm not live streaming for Broadway. You know, I do my stuff out of my kitchen, my low budget morning show.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I was just bragging about how multi-talented you are. You're a singer, you're an actor, you're on Broadway, you're a comic. And I thought you were working your ass off, by the way, Rick. And tell the truth. Is this like sort of like this furlough, a little bit of a respite for you? Plus you have kids. Let's not leave that.
Well, the first couple of weeks was, Broadway's not going back until 2021. And, it took a while before I got any of my unemployment benefits. There was a big glitch that happened, and it's no way to get through and talk to people. So it was something very simple. My card never got to me. So money was accumulating and I had no access to it.
And so, bureaucracy is a nightmare when you have to go through that. I can't take it. It's suddenly we're living in the Kafka world, you know.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have access to my money until like 2 weeks ago. So imagine from March 12th till almost 5 months.
Wow.
I didn't have access to my money. And I, fortunately, because I have a comedy album, because I have residuals and stuff like that, I wasn't paying my rent, but I was getting enough money to feed myself and take care of my kids. And so when I got this, and eventually I had to hit my savings, and, you know, but now I got, you know, access to the money. And so now it feels a little better, but I think we're all kind of suffering from at least low grade to high grade depression.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I love that you just said low grade depression too, because Frank, remember I was talking to you about that. I'm like, I feel okay, but there's like something bad, like there's a low grade depression that we're living with every day.
Yeah, it's always there. Even if sometimes you can kind of cheer yourself up and feel better and escape into a movie or something, but it's always kind of there. You know?
Yeah, like the anxiety is there, and then just the feeling of not being able to do what you do, especially for those of us who are artists. It's like every possible way that I have to make money is not available to me.
It's not available to you.
Right.
Because like when we first found out that the show wasn't going to run, we were told 4 weeks. But when we found that out, comedy clubs were still rolling. I had some spots coming up. So I was like, you know, I thought that, okay, maybe it's not going to affect everything. And within a week, comedy clubs were closed. And so it's like, I can't do comedy. I can't go on Broadway. I can't go somewhere and sing, you know. So, I mean, obviously doing my live stream from my kitchen is like therapy for me. The other thing is when I didn't have access to my money, I couldn't afford to go to my therapist. I haven't seen my therapist.
I know, me either. It's been hell. It's been living hell.
The therapist, that's your most important performance of the week.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I actually work my bits for when I go see my therapist.
Oh, so do I.
Who also has the same therapist.
Oh my God, Rick. I thought I was the only one that did that. I'm always bouncing material, and she laughs. She laughs and hates Trump, so I'm never going to leave that bitch. We're together forever. But we did actually separate during this time, and I never needed her more, you know, because
I'm trying to see a therapist, but I have to go to open neurosis night first and try to break in.
Well, I mean, it's like right now. Did you see? There's a commercial now. Michael Phelps is advertising for an app where you can get your therapy through your phone.
Right. Well, yeah. I know. I'm just, you know what it is? It's just so nice to see her in person. She's already sort of slumbering and eating through my sessions as it is. So I really need to keep a close eye on that bitch, or else I'm going to lose her completely. You know what I mean? I just have to be in the room. But Rick, so I know it has to be hard for you, because do you have both the kids with you at all times? Rick has a.
Well, yeah. Here's the deal. I'm separated from my wife.
Yes, I do.
But she works from home. She lives like 5 minutes away from me. Okay. So this is my day. I get up early. I go get the kids from her. The kids stay with me from 9 to 5. And then I take them back over there, or she comes, picks them up. I usually hang around a little while, maybe help out, make sure baths and things like that get taken care of. And then I head back home. And so I have my evenings free. But sometimes we do divide and conquer, where each of us will take a kid, or, you know, and of course there are some nights where I have them both too. So it's like I am working every day, but I don't get days off. You know, it's like you can't really take time off from your kids. I've had maybe 2-3 days where I haven't had to do that routine out of the whole 5 months we're talking. So
wow, I can't even believe it's been 5 months, but that's got to be so hard. Honest to God, that's. I mean, I think about.
nobody's supposed to spend this much time with their kids.
I know.
It's not. It's like, you're supposed to send them someplace. You're supposed to go someplace.
I know.
That's when your kids grow up, or this generation of kids grow up, when they go to a therapist, they're going to be talking about, I'm traumatized because I spent so much time with my parents.
Right.
It's going to be traumatized for them. Believe me, I've never been happier about my choice that I made in the 80s, trust me, because that's the only thing that can make this worse right now, okay? I can barely handle a cat. Rick, I can't even imagine. So you've been taking care of your children, plus you're auditioning still because you have an audition today. So you're still trying to get out there. Do you feel like there's opportunities for you to audition? Do you feel like you're staying busy with acting and stuff?
Well, obviously television, film, and commercials is going to come back before Broadway. So, I mean, that's what I will be, doing, so I'm auditioning for stuff like that. Right now, I'm actually on hold for something. Get this. Like I said, me and my wife are separated, but we have the same agent. And,
oh my God, are you serious?
So we know, so he knows that we're quarantining, like our quarantine circle is with each other. So
you got joint custody of your agent. That's nice.
And so we auditioned for something together, and we might get it.
God!
Which will really create quite an interesting dynamic, since we got other people.
Yeah,
well, that could be two gigs if that happens, because that could be the gig that you both get. And then it's the sitcom that you write about it afterwards.
It will help us to be able to pay for the divorce.
It'll help you guys. Or you could end up getting back together again, like what's her name? Goldie Hawn.
Everybody has made that has said that that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
And I know this has proven that this will not happen, because our circle is the four of us. And it's almost like I'm the last man on earth. and I can literally say, she wouldn't sleep with me if I was the last man on earth.
Wow. So, and it's so weird, Rick, because when you guys were together, and I didn't know that you were having troubles, and then you told me, remember we got together and you told me that you were separated or whatever, and I thought you guys were the most spectacular couple on the planet. You guys were like literally my favorite fucking couple. And then you're like, I've got news. Like, you had to sit me down. I was like, what is it? And remember, I was crying. I was crying.
We're still quite spectacular.
You are separately.
We get along great. The co-parenting thing is working just fine.
Well, it's amazing. It's great that you're able to keep having a good relationship despite how devastating this was to Irene.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. It's you learn things. One of the things I've learned is that, first of all, every relationship comes to an end. Even if it's till death, it's either till death do us part.
I haven't told my husband yet. Believe me, I know. Yeah. Go on, sweetie.
And the thing is that every ending is not a bad ending. It's like sometimes things just run its course. And so we still have a relationship. There's certain aspects that have not continued, but we're still, when we're together, we have a great time. We're not like angry and pissed off at each other all the time. Yet there are times when we are pissed off. Just like, it's like we've kind of accepted, first of all, that we're a family because we got two kids together. And actually that, you're still one of my best friends. You're still one of the best people I know. And I'm very happy that we've, I couldn't be happier to have had children with her.
That's amazing. And I couldn't agree more, because those children are so beautiful and they're part of both of you and they're amazing. And tell me about are your significant others now, the people that you're dating, jealous about this possible you two doing this scene together? Because there's always
I haven't told anybody. If they watch this, they're
going to know. This is how they're going to find.
If I book it, I'm going to have to say, let me tell you. So, it's probably not going to go over that well. Yeah. But, until I get paid.
I think Frank is onto something. I think I smell a sitcom, Frank. You're absolutely right. How often?
I know, it's a great, or a rom-com. It's a great situation where a split up couple get put back together against, against everybody's better judgment.
Yeah.
Against everybody's judgment. So the kids, but I bet the kids are excited. I'm so sorry. I guess the kids are really excited about having you around them all the time, though. Come on, they are.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Doing the show, eight shows a week, 6 days a week, I was always like, man, I don't get enough time with my kids. And the universe heard me. And obviously, I got a lot of power.
And me too. Don't be so narcissistic. I think we were all saying that.
And so it's like, now, whoa, it's a lot. But I mean, I am having a great time. It's like, having kids, you're going to always have moments where you're like, can y'all leave me alone? Y'all stop the fussing. But sometimes I sit back and I watch them together, and it's so fun to watch them with their relationship that they have with each other. Like Lolo is 3. I've been involved with Mean Girls like her whole life. So this is like the most time that I've gotten to spend with her. And during this time, I potty trained her. She is me. It's like Vanessa says it all the time too. It's like, that is your daughter. It's like she's got my same build. She's funny. She sings. It's like we watch Hamilton together, and she's like, she's picking up on things that she's finding stuff in the show before I do at 3.
Wow, children are perceptive.
It's like, well, she used to go with me to the theater every Saturday too. So she, like, her playground on Saturdays was a Broadway stage. So,
she might be catching that bug, that theatrical bug. Could happen.
That's amazing. My playground was my kitchen with my family yelling at each other. Listen, I think she's got it pretty damn good having a dad on Broadway. And now, do you miss performing with your cast members and doing the show? Like, you must miss that so much.
Yeah, I do miss it. It took the first few weeks I was kind of like, I realized how much I needed to break because I missed the people, but I didn't miss getting up every evening and going to the theater. Okay. And so now it's kind of like, man, I'm kind of chomping at the bit, especially getting opportunities to, like, since Hamilton is playing on Disney Plus, I watch that like all the time. So it's like, man, I'm looking at these different roles. I was like, that would be fun to play, or it would be fun to do that. Or I would, this got me thinking about other things that I want to do. But meanwhile, I'm also, right now, I'm writing with a creative partner, my web series.
That's great.
Rick Younger. It's called Rick Younger Presents the Rick Younger Show, starring Rick Younger as Rick Younger.
Wow, I love this multiple personality. I love this.
It's like a play on how Tyler Perry makes everything Tyler Perry presents.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And how as a result of that, you see all these other Black creatives presenting their thing, and so it's like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go several steps further. And it's basically, it's got a kind of a Curb Your Enthusiasm type of feel to it, because it's heavily improv. And it's Rick Younger, who happens to be a Broadway actor, a guy who kind of thinks he's more famous than he is, and all of the naminess that occurs as a result of his great feeling about himself.
Wow, that's amazing. See, there's like this fertile ground for creating more now. Like, I know that you love doing Broadway, but I think, like, when you mentioned the universe was listening to you, I felt like the universe was listening to me. I was like, I'm traveling all the time. I'm exhausted. I'm never home. I'm driving. I felt like no more than that. 80% of my life was driving. And then it was just for that half an hour, 15 minutes on stage. And then it was, we discussed this so many times, Rick. Just wishing that we could be beamed on stage, Frank.
Right.
I think both of you need to social distance from the universe, because I'm not that excited that the universe answered your prayers and made this pandemic happen.
Maybe we should have had a discussion so that both of us wasn't asking.
Yeah, we should have.
If we concentrated our powers too strongongly.
Wait,
that's why the Avengers have meetings.
Wait,
going off.
Exactly.
I think that seemed like, I'm sorry, Frank, you cracked me up. Yes. I'm so sad this pandemic happened. It was the worst thing that ever happened. But I do think that a lot of people are exhausted, and now everybody's stuck in at home. But at the same time, if we're going to glean anything positive from such a travesty and tragic time, it's that we are able to breathe a little. And like you said, like you're working on something else, you know, we're all working on different little things, or we're just taking, I mean, I don't know, I'm trying to give this.
I think too that when when it's finally, everybody knows that it's okay to go out again and it's safe again, I think like Broadway and comedy clubs, I think they're going to be packed. I think people are going to be desperate to get back out and to see shows. I know I am myself. You know, I want to be out and I'm antisocial in the first place, but I want to be social because it's been too much for me, all of this antisocialness. And I think already you see people in outdoor cafes and stuff, you know, like people are really want to, and I think on Broadway, I think once everything's okay, I think you're going to do really well again, you know, and the show will be packed again.
Definitely. And you're going to be refreshed, and you're going to get back on stage with a new vigor. I agree, Frank. I mean, I'm a very social person. I didn't think that I could literally stay in as long as I did. But for some reason, I thank God for Zoom, right? We could see each other. And then, of course, Zoom became too much for me. I was like, I'm sorry, bitch. No, I can't Zoom with you tonight. I've been on Zoom all day. But
I mean, well, the technology that we have makes it not as bad as it could be. Can you imagine the 1918 pandemic? It's like the lack of communication, the lack of connection that you only could connect in person, but connecting in person could kill you. So now it's like, you know, and
I can attest to what you're saying because I was around for the 1918 pandemic.
Right. You know, it's funny. I actually learned that my grandmother's stepfather died in the 1918 pandemic.
Oh, really? Wow.
Learned, you know, but it's like, you know, so even though I haven't seen my mother, I was talking about that today. It's like, man, I haven't seen my mother, but because of FaceTime and things like that, it doesn't feel as bad as it could feel. Now, most of the time when I see my mother, it looks like this. Because she hasn't quite figured out how to get her face in it. So it's like, mom. Okay, see the little square? When you see yourself, that's what I see.
That's exactly my mother too. She's like this. It goes down. So she'll be up, and then it's just gradually as the conversation goes. It's like, Mom, bring it back up. Bring it back up. Yeah, you're right. That does give me a lot of solace, and plus, it's a great excuse not to see my mother as much. I'm sorry, but you guys don't even know how much I was running home. She was part of the problem. So again, I should have been, the one.
Now, one of the downsides of technology is that everybody's on social media and everything is getting run into a hole so fast. Like the Will and Jada thing happened, and by the end of the day, I was tired of the word entanglement. You know, it's like right now, people have said cancel culture so much. So I'm just like, I don't even want to listen to Culture Club anymore. I'm just like, you know, it's like real, you know, it gets me because people are always complaining about cancellations. And I'm like, can you name a person who has really been canceled? And can you name a person who has been so-called canceled who didn't deserve some type of consequences for their actions?
Right, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
It's like, you know, everybody comes back. It's like, you know, Mel Gibson went off on an anti-Semitic, racist rant years ago, and he's never been
more popular. In the process of cancellation, you're actually being exalted. No, I'm just kidding.
He's made a string of excellent anti-Semitic films since that all happened.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, you know, it's kind of like how I feel about comedians complaining about political correctness. It's like everybody wants to be edgy, but they want everybody to love them.
Right.
Like, if you're going to say edgy things, not everybody's going to like you. Nor should everybody like you. If that's what you want to be, then stop being so upset when people get upset when you crack a dead baby joke or a rape joke or whatever. It's like you're going to piss people off.
Also, because some comedians use edgy, edginess is an excuse
to be racist.
when they do something racist and like that guy, and I don't know him, and I don't want to like slam him or anything, but the guy that was hired for SNL and then didn't get on because of his podcast, and he was saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just like to do edgy material." Well, no, it was racist material you were doing.
Right. Well, outward.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that people have a problem with being called racist or anti-Semitic, but they don't address that possibly what they've done falls under that category.
Exactly.
Like I'm not, I'm not going, once again, I'm not going to name names, but a comedian friend that we know was under fire a few weeks ago because a video that they had posted a few years back came up, and people were like, every comedian came to her aid, or most comedians came to her aid. And when I saw it, I was like, man, that was a pretty racist portrayal. And it's like, just because I like her and just because I know her doesn't make what she did not racist. But everybody jumps to, well, she's nice. Or, when people start talking about, I don't have a racist bone in my body. Yes, you do. Because guess what? I'm Black and I live in America. And if growing up in America, you're socialized to, you take in certain things. So like when I see a Black guy walking down the street at night, I get scared. And guess what? He's probably looking at me and he's scared. And it's like, I have to fight that whole idea of what I think he is because I've been bombarded with images. So it's like when you do something that is racist, it's like, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. I look at racism like this. First of all, it's a system. It's not a definite attack of your character. It's like left unattended, we all will be racist here in America. But it's like this. It's not about intention. And people talk about intention so much. I compare it to this. If I'm walking and I'm holding a knife and you run into it and I stab you, my intention wasn't to stab you and hurt you. But guess what? Now you have a wound that I need to do something about it. I need to call a doctor or apply direct pressure or do something, or you're going to bleed out on the floor. My intention did not matter in that case. And that's how so many things that are racist is. That's what that's the gist of it, is that, okay, that was not your intention, but hey, whatever got into your subconscious that made that come out, maybe let's examine that. But it's like, you can be a great person and you can learn from this if you don't spend all your time fighting it and claiming I'm an outlier.
You have to look inward.
You've got to learn from it and grow from it and say, well, that joke that I did several years ago, like it doesn't hold up at all. I regret that I said it. And hopefully I'll do better, as opposed to some comedians who just go, well, screw you if you don't like it, I'm sorry if I'm too edgy for you, It's like, fuck that, Fuck
that. You can't blindly defend it and get offensive. It's true. You have to look inward. And the whole reason we're here on this fucking earth is to evolve anyway. So you have to look inward and if you can't evolve, maybe you're not really a comic, because honestly, that's what comedy is about. Comedy is about evolving, So I still don't know who we're talking about, though. Can you believe that? Because you know what, Rick? I had to decompress myself, and I've been taking major time out from social media because it was really starting to get to me. So sometimes that's the thing. You blink and you're missing like headlining news all of a sudden just because you decided to decompress for a second.
But you definitely have to take it in small doses. It's like it's a monster all to itself, and it can become all consuming. Like a few weeks ago, I did a tweet that got over 18,000 likes and over 5,000 retweets. Nice. And it was very interesting for like the week or so when that little light on your Twitter stays on because people are constantly retweeting and liking it. Next thing you know, you're looking at your phone all the time to see who else.
Gambling.
Did anybody famous like it? It's like it can be all consuming, and then it becomes the type of thing where everybody's like looking for, what's the next thing that he's gonna say? And my tweet was basically talking about with talking about school reopenings and how everybody keeps talking about the children falling behind. I said, what are they falling behind? Our made up idea of where a child is supposed to be by the time he gets to be 18 years old is like this, and I basically said, I just want my children alive. It must have struck a chord because I'm looking up and people with 2 million followers on Instagram are sharing the screenshot, and I'm going to, it was trending on Reddit. It was like all these places.
Wow.
And I'm like, all I said is I don't want my kids to die. I didn't think that was so profound, but that's how wacky the world is right now. Saying something like that is like revolutionary.
Well, look what happened. And I want to address this. You're absolutely right, Rick. But then, it's like social media was built to I forget what those parts of your brain are that light up for gambling. So it's an addiction, you keep looking. But that is pretty amazing. And I think,
and I'm sorry I missed that tweet, by the way, because
I'm going to go retweet it.
Yeah, I was too busy Googling my own name over and over again. So.
Well, I pinned it to the top of my profile.
Oh my God. I love you, Frank. Jesus. But this is like one of those times, like even with Sarah Cooper, what's happening with her career. I was talking to a comic. This is sort of like piggybacking on like your big tweet, how people are finding certain like pockets of fame because they're tapping into something different. Although all you had to say was that there was no point there, but all you had to say was that you don't want kids to die, and boom. Right.
Like both Sarah and JL Coban, they both have Trump-related things that have increased their popularity. And for me, I'm like, God bless both of them, because both of them have been around for a minute, And it's like, I remember I've seen articles on both of them, and it's like sometimes these things are payback for the work you put in. It's like,
absolutely.
Who knew that, he was going to be, well, a lot of us in New York knew he was going to be that inept, so inept that if you have the stomach to impersonate him or lip sync to what he says and act it out, that all eyes would be on you.
Oh my God!
And you know what? That's something you can't manipulate that either, and you can't predict it. In other words, I think when Sarah Cooper made her first video where she lip synced Trump, I figured she thought, hey, I bet this will be pretty funny. I'll put this up. Let's see what she had no idea that it was going to blow up and become the gigantic and those kind of things that do blow up, like your tweet and other things. There's nothing contrived behind it. It's just an honest expression. And then somehow it strikes a chord with people.
Right. Oh, absolutely. She didn't know it was. She said it was her third video. I mean, her videos are so amazing. I'm absolutely, I'm in love with her. I think she's so funny, and I'm so happy for her success. But she didn't. You're absolutely right, Frank. She just said, "Oh, I put up this third video because I kind of enjoyed putting up this video," and boom, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, ignited.
Well, I remember when she played Charles McBee's love interest in his web series, A Chucked Up Life. Like that's been a number of years ago. And it's like, people out here just doing their thing. And I know she's written a book and all this other stuff. So it's like good for any of our people who get something that clicks and sticks, because it's not easy. It's like, going viral is not like, as much as people want to recommend to comedians, what you got to do is make a viral video. People tell you that like you're like, okay, I hadn't thought of that. It's the same way when I go home to my church that I grew up in, and people are like, hey, Ricky, you still doing the TV and the acting thing? You should call Tyler Perry. He's like, it's like, I didn't think of that. I'm like, here I am with Tyler's number, and I keep not calling him.
I'm kicking myself for not becoming a YouTube influencer, because I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing, and now and I completely missed that boat.
Okay, first of all, just listening to you say the word influencer, it's something that I never thought I would hear that word from your mouth, Frank Conniff. All right, so we're running out of time, but this has been so much fun. I just want to make sure that we get to wrap it up in a pretty bow, and you talk about what's coming up for you and plug whatever you need to plug, Mr. Younger.
Well, you can. Well, it's not much coming up for me. Lolo's about to wake up from her nap. So no, as you know, so obviously I spoke about it. I'm working on my web series, so that's something to look out for when it's ready. But you can always find me at Rick Younger on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, Snapchat, YouTube.com/Rick Younger, YouTube.com/The Rick Younger Show, Facebook.com/Rick Younger page, CafePress.com/Rick Younger Show for wonderful Rick Younger Show memorabilia. We got mugs, we got thongs, we got babies' bibs, onesies, tank tops. Go check it out or Google me. I'm the first 6 to 12 pages of Rick Younger on Google. So that's how you can find me.
All right.
Damn.
As always, I have my comedy albums out there. Go buy those or listen to them so I can feed these kids. Just Google me or try to find a movie I'm in and watch it or something that might bring some money to me in this time of pandemic.
Well, Rick, thank you so much for being here. Love you so much. Frank, what do you have some stuff coming up, although I don't know how this works, but you have shows that are coming up.
Well, I have the Trace by you and I, our live movie riffing show. Our next one is coming up on 8 p.m. on Tuesday, August 18th. And so watch for that. Go to my social media, my Twitter and Facebook information. And there'll be another one in September after that, too. So.
All right. Awesome, guys. We're running out of time. I love you both. Thank you so much, Rick. I miss you, Frank. Thank you so much. I'm at Irene Bremis 13. Follow me on Twitter. Get my album Unladylike, please. We love you. We'll see you next time. Mwah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
All right. See you later.